Sir, I have a question from chapter 7, verse 189.
189?
That's right.
Chapter 7.
189. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. This is Surah Al-Araf, verse number 189. قُلْ لَا أَمْلِكُ لِنَفْسِي نَفْعًا وَلَا ضَرًّا إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ وَلَوْ كُنْتُ أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبَ لَاسْتَكْثَرْتُ مِنَ الْخَيْرِ وَمَا مَسَّنِيَ السُّوءُ إِنْ أَنَا إِلَّا نَذِيرٌ وَبَشِيرٌ لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. Say, I have no power to do good or harm to myself, save as Allah please. And if I had knowledge of the unseen, I should have secured abundance of good, and evil would not have touched me. I am only a warner and a bearer of good tidings to a people who believe.
Huzur, could you kindly give us the explanation of this expression? وَلَوْ كُنْتُ أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبَ لَاسْتَكْثَرْتُ مِنَ الْخَيْرِ وَمَا مَسَّنِيَ السُّوءُ.
You can frame the question in Arabic if you like, and then I'll answer it. Now here, this is one place where I beg to differ with the translation of the word khair. Khair in Arabic may mean good, correctly so of course, but may also mean the worldly wealth. Now here, to confine it to the meaning of good in the first sense is apparently wrong, because Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, despite not being the master of the ghaib, of the unseen, had all the good to himself. He was good personified. So how can he deny this? That if I had known ghaib, if I had known the unseen, then I could have collected goodness all around me. That he had already done. So here khairat is not mentioned in the sense of good deeds. Khair is mentioned only in the sense of amwal, al-khair, al-mal dunya. And with that I can proceed with the interpretation as I think is justified. Please translate this. Right. Now this is a very profound verse. Every verse is profound, but in the sense that it explains the scheme of worldly things here on earth so beautifully. The secret of wealth, collection of wealth or amassing of wealth, lies in knowing the ghaib. Now you apply this to the whole economic system of the world. If anyone knows today what is going to happen to some currency or some real estate or some other commodities, he can immediately act accordingly, either amass those things or get rid of those things. And all the knowledge which the West has is the source of income, their source of income, which is ghaib to the third world countries. If they knew also the technique of making even high-class lipsticks or hair oils, they can amass immense wealth. So the secret of wealth is knowledge. Not only the knowledge, but the knowledge of the unseen in relation to some others. When there are others in the world who do not see that knowledge and understand that knowledge, those who do can make a lot of wealth out of this ignorance of others and their access to that knowledge, which is secret. That is why they always mention trade secret. in many things, in many trades and industries, there are some secrets which are not told to others at all, because therein lies the key to amassing wealth. So Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is told to mention to the world that I do not have a direct access to what is unseen. Only Allah has. And those ulama who attribute this direct access to Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam are falsified by this verse. They are given a lie. Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam needed wealth to serve the cause of Islam. He begged others, Muslims of course, to help him in this, in performing the task of ultimate victory of Islam through whatever wealth they could attain or put in the service of Islam. If he had known of the unseen, he could have been the richest man on earth even in his time. He did not have to go to anybody else seeking help. He could have told the world, look here, there is gold underneath that tract of land. The King Solomon's mines lie there in Arabia, and so on and so forth. And all the oil and how it should be used would have been discovered by him himself immediately during his lifetime. So he could have been the richest man on earth in no time. And he could have known in advance of the usage of oil and the mechanism, machines which consume oil. All that relates to ghaib. So Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is telling the whole world that as far as the possession of the unseen, of the knowledge of the unseen is concerned, Innama ana basharun mithlukum. I'm like a bashar, like yourself. And yet, in all such matters where the knowledge of the unseen is required by me, Allah reveals me of that knowledge. It reveals that knowledge to me. But not in the sense that we are discussing. So this verse indicates khair to be the worldly wealth. Correct? Now, the man who has knowledge of everything avoids accidents. Nothing untoward can happen to him at all. While Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companions met with accidents many a time, and they did not know the movement of the armies of the enemy, and many such things remained unknown to them, which could have avoided trouble if known. So this verse is simple and plain regarding both these issues. Thank you. Understand? It was Abdul Rahman who asked this question. Thank you. Please. So he could have indicated how such machines can be made with internal combustion engine, motor cars, aeroplanes, jet aeroplanes, who fly at twice the speed of light and even more. This is ghaib. He should have known this ghaib and should have told the world how to make best use of the oil discovered underneath Saudi Arabia. These things also should be added to. Another thing should be added to this, that the ghaib which was revealed to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also related to the discovery of oil and the minerals. وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا is a specific verse which I have in mind. And also is related, the ghaib related to the discovery of Americas. Also it related to the time when these flying machines will have been invented. All this is mentioned to prove that he has a link with someone who knows. But when the time will come, the time was to come, only then these things would be revealed. And the people of that age would be amazed at looking at the verses of the Quran, which will become understood only when these things happen. So a ghaib he does possess, in the sense that God bestowed that ghaib upon him, which also mentioned the material advancement of the world and the discoveries of such things as were unthinkable by the Arabs at that time. But the Quran never told him how to make a flying machine. If that knowledge had been bestowed on him, then he could have amassed the wealth which the Holy Quran says he did not amass. See?